Hello, my name is Andrew Whittaker. I'm the British Consul General here in San Francisco, and I wanted to take the opportunity today to touch base with everyone and explain how the British government is dealing with the coronavirus, which is clearly the biggest health crisis that we have faced in a generation. I want to start by recognizing that this is a unique and unsettling time for everybody. And it's absolutely the number one effort of the British government to put all its resources into tackling this crisis under four main headings, but also to recognize that we are still very much open for business as the Consulate General here in San Francisco, and supporting British nationals who need our help is clearly essential work that we will always carry on doing, and we're available 24/7, 365 to do that. The broader British government effort falls under four distinct headings. So first of all is the global effort to tackle the health issues. And here we're working very closely with G7, G20, Commonwealth, and the rest of the UN to tackle the whole range of issues that go into this. And that includes particular support to the most vulnerable countries. So the UK's commitment to 0.7% spend of our gross national income on overseas development remains undimmed, and that's a commitment that we stand by very much at this time. The second area of effort is looking particularly at vaccines and other forms of treatment, and the UK is leading the way in terms of developing a new vaccine, and not just developing, but thinking about how do we test it and then make sure it can be rolled out in production and distributed to where it's most needed. Most recently, the government has announced a £250 million contribution to a worldwide effort to develop a new vaccine to tackle the virus. We're also looking at how can we find other innovative solutions, and of course the very strong UK-US science relationship is part of that, as well as the extraordinary technical skills and the entrepreneurial spirit that we see here in the Bay Area, and how can we best utilize those and see opportunities to develop our efforts together between the UK and US, as well as with other international partners. The third area is about keeping the global economy going. There are, of course, really vital supply chains that we want to protect, for example, around food or medical equipment and medicines. We remain strongly committed as the UK to global free trade, spotting where there are, for example, market access barriers that we want to eliminate, but also working to ensure that we help here to support the NHS. So that's in the provision, for example, of ventilators or personal protection equipment for our frontline workers back in the UK. Fourthly, and this is where I really want to focus my conversation today, is about how do we support British nationals overseas? And that's clearly a focus of the consulate's work year round, but has come into particular attention now. So firstly, I hope many people have already seen the messaging that if you're a British traveller here in the US, we're strongly encouraging you to go back to the UK while there are still commercial options available. And although there are now no direct flights from either San Francisco or Seattle, there are ways through the many transit hubs, but particularly through New York. If you want to return to the UK at this time, we encourage you to do so. In terms of broader support to vulnerable British nationals overseas, myself and my team have been personally involved in supporting the repatriation of about 800 people from a number of different cruise ships. So we were dockside in Oakland to support the repatriation from the Grand Princess, as well as working very closely with our colleagues in Florida when the Zaandam, the Rotterdam, and the Coral Princess docked over there. Thinking about other populations that need our help, we support those who are in prisons or incarcerated in the detention facilities here who need our support at this time, as well as some of the other services that we do operate all year round. But for example, emergency travel documents, we're still issuing those, including to some newborn babies who are able to be issued with them so they could go back to the UK with their parents. And I really encourage anyone who does need our help and support, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're delighted to work with partners like the British Benevolent Society. At times like this, it becomes ever more crucial that we strengthen and develop those links to the benefit of everyone who needs our help. I would continue to encourage everyone to keep a close eye on the travel advice, the FCA's travel advice service. We keep that up to date and we're reviewing that absolutely every day to provide the most recent information there. And more broadly, I encourage you all to follow the advice of the local authorities. So maintaining social distancing, staying at home unless it's out for essential business or for exercise, making sure that you're washing your hands regularly, and being very careful if you do encounter anyone who you think might have symptoms or you think you have symptoms yourself. Please encourage you all, stay in touch, stay well, and look after yourselves.